Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you where the triads are in bar chords. And the four bar chords we're going to look at would be the E major shape. Of course, at the 5th fret that's an A, but I'm going to call this the E major shape. I'm going to call that the E minor shape. That is the A major shape, and that is the A minor shape. So they're the shapes we're going to look at. But where are the triads? Because lots of times when you play, full bar chords, sometimes it's too much noise. It's a lot of duplicated notes. There's multiple roots. There's multiple fifths. Most of the time, there's just 1/3 in there. So we kind of have to know where that third is, so we capture it, because we want to play a triad with the 1, the 3, and the 5 in the case of a major chord. In the case of the minor chords, we want the 1 or the root, the flatted third or the minor third, and the 5th. Let's look at first the E major shape, okay? And there's 3 triads in this, in this position. Now there's triads elsewhere, but we're just going to look at the triads that are in a bar chord. So you have this this triad here, where the third is actually, the first string you're playing. The 5 is the second note, and the root is that third note. Okay, so you can kind of support the chord with just that. It sounds a little more articulated, especially if you're recording. You put a track down of just these triads versus. Okay, depends what you want to do. If you are the only guitar player in a group, then maybe you want to, kind of send more of it out. But you have the bass player who's playing the root, may have a keyboard player or another guitar player. So that is one of the triads. That's the first inversion. Then you have the root position here. These three strings in the middle, and then you have that triad. So this in the E major shape, you have 3 triads. Okay. Well, let's look at the A major shape, because lots of times we're playing that chord and then we're playing that chord. So I call that the A major shape. So you have, in this case, since the third is on the second string, you really only have two inversions or 2 triads to play. Okay, this would, that second inversion shape of the A major, where you have the root, you have the 5, the root's in the middle, and then the 3, okay? And then the other major, A major shape triad is the root position, where that's the root, that's the third, and that's the 5th. Okay? Now let's look at the minors, okay? E minor shape. So in this case, this is one of the E minor shape triads, where you have the minor third on that string, the 5 on the second string, and the root on the first. Or we can do the root position, where we have the root here, that minor third there, and the 5 there. Okay? Or we can do this, where we have the 5. This would be the second inversion. You have the 5 on the 5th string, the root in the middle, and the flatted third in that position. Okay, so that's a minor. This is the E minor shape. Okay, so learn those. And then we go to the A minor shape. Okay, again, you can play the whole A minor shape chord. Okay, in this case, not to confuse you, this is a D minor, because we're at the 5th fret, but we're calling it the A minor shape. And there's really only 2 triads that you can play, because you're trying to capture this minor third note here, and it's on the second string, so you can really just play that minor shape, where you have the root, the minor third, and the 5th. Or you can play kind of that little A minor shape that you're used to playing up there, play it right there. And there you have the 5, the root is in the middle, and then the minor third. So they're your inversions, or they're your triads when you play bar chords. There's triads elsewhere up and down the neck in different shapes, but rather than just flogging that, bar chord, which is fine, you can get a little more articulate and sort of suggestive and supportive of the rhythm section. But it really helps you when you're recording. You may want to play, a full A or a full A back here. But then you can throw in on another track these little triads in different inversions in those positions. Okay? Hope that helps. Subscribe, comment. See ya.